Bobby Kennedy Jr., the disgrace to the Kennedy family name. Not that they were, squeaky clean and perfect people, but my God, this Bobby Kennedy. The other day, he gave a presser about autism and how they will never kiss, they will never write a poem, they will never get married. Some of them can't even go to the bathroom by themselves. But what struck me was the very first thing he said. He goes, "These autistic people, they will never pay taxes." And that is telling to me because it keeps going back to that old thing that, the fascists were all about back in those days. They called them useless eaters. The first thing on Bobby Kennedy's mind about autistic people is that they're not paying taxes. That tracks. That absolutely tracks. Because, these people are a burden on us. And, we're constantly having to take care of them and pay for them. And, maybe it would be easier if, they were just somewhere else. Just came out recently that he wants a register of all autistic people. So he wants a list. Remember everybody, all those very conservative Republicans were like, "Oh, the Democrats are just trying to put me on a list so they can come get me and take my gun." And he's literally talking about making a list, a register of all autistic people. I got an idea. How about we do a register of all women's, all women's periods and menopausal activity, and let's have a list of all of the people that have spoken out against Israel or spoken out against Trump, or make a list of all the people that have ever been to a protest. Or I got an idea. How about we make a list of all trans people? One of the first groups of people that the Nazis went after back in the day, and I know I'm breaking Godwin's law left, right, and center, not to bring up the Nazis, but here we go again. One of the first groups that the Nazis went after was trans people, because it's a very small, marginalized group of people, and they don't really have any defense. And they went after the sick and the indigent because they called those people useless eaters. Yet again, another group of people, very small, can't not defend themselves, and we need to just go ahead and, put them somewhere, out of sight, out of mind. We'll get them a bed somewhere nice, but, we just don't have to deal with them anymore, because it's hard to have to, deal with people and stuff and things, and it would be so much easier if they could just, go away. It would be okay. So Bobby Kennedy's talking about that. He also, the other day, he was talking about, young boys' sperm counts are down. All right, first of all, I don't even want to know, how you know about young boys. He's talking about teenage boys. You're talking, goddamn, man, the Republicans are really concerned with the sexual activity and the genitalia of young people. Tim Walz was right, man. These people are fucking weird. They're really fucking weird. It used to be live and let live. Just, as long as you're not hurting anybody, go do your thing. I'll do my thing, and we'll just live together and everything will be good. No. We need lists. We need a trans directory. We need an autistic directory. We need to make sure that, we have an account of all of these people. I mean, look, over the years, since 9/11, we have pretty much given up at least half of the Bill of Rights. Illegal search and seizure, that's over with. They can just bust into your house if they want to. All of your data is for sale on the internet. You don't have any privacy there. We have cameras all over the place. They're snatching people up off the street. First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. We're doing that. We're taking away that. I mean, I guess the only right that they want to keep is the Second Amendment to have a gun. But after they get rid of the 9 of the 10 amendments to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, that'll be the last one, but they'll come for that one too, you know. It's one of the things, the other things that those fascists did is that they used the police to put down, you know, the protesters and the people that were fighting against them. And then after the police finished that up, then they ceased to be useful. And then that's when the SS came in and there were no more police. It was just the party. So, you know, awesome. Yeah, we need a list of autistic people. You know, we need a directory of trans people. That sounds good. That sounds really good. Looking forward to it. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.